Good morning, Breakfast Clubbers. I'm here in York this morning and I'm taking a look at this place just behind me. It's Willow Farm Café. It's another viewer recommendation. I've heard they do a good full English breakfast and they do a giant one in fact. So we're going to see if we can slay this giant. Let's go. Yes, today I'm in York again. This time, I'm here at Willow Farm Café to check out this viewer-recommended breakfast spot. Aside the veggie option, there are 4 versions of the full English on the menu today, starting with the regular, the feast, the beast, and the giant. And seeing as we've come all the way to York, it only seems right that we make an attempt at slaying that giant today, which comes loaded with 3 sausages, 3 bacon, 3 fried eggs, double beans, double mushrooms, 2 black pudding, 2 hash browns, grilled tomato, sliced new potatoes, fried bread, and toast. Drinks are extra, so as usual, it's a pot of tea for me, priced at £2.50. It's literally minutes after opening time on a Saturday morning, and I'm already feeling late to the party. This place is absolutely heaving, but I don't have long to wait before the giant lands in front of me, so it's time to tuck in.
Hello there. There we go, the giant.
That's great.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
Okay,
Cheers.
thank you.
Of course, it's a large oval plate, and it needs to be, because the moment it lands, you're looking at a proper mountain of a breakfast. There's a really tidy bit of symmetry happening in the centre, the tomato halves sitting neatly on top of the hash browns, which themselves are supported by 2 slices of black pudding. Working your way around the plate, there's a clear contrast in colour. On one side, you've got the bright whites of the fried eggs, then you move through the nicely coloured meats, the bacon and sausages, before you hit the softer, duller tones of the sliced potatoes, toast and fried bread on the opposite side. Despite the sheer volume of food, it's an eye-pleasing, neat, clean layout. Everything has its place, and nothing looks like it's been thrown on in a panic. Score 8 out of 10. Right then, let's get stuck into the individual items, starting with the tomatoes. We've got 2 grilled half tomatoes on the plate, both looking bright and inviting from the outset. They're lightly done though, missing that visible charring you'd hope to see from the grill. Cutting in, they're exceptionally juicy and they've held on to a good amount of heat too. Flavour wise, they've got a vibrant, deep tomato taste without leaning too strong in any direction. Nicely balanced overall, just lacking a touch of seasoning that would have pushed them even higher. Score 8 out of 10. Shifting over slightly, the mushrooms are up next. And the mushrooms come as a mix of thick and thin slices, which gives them a nice bit of texture before you've even tasted them. They're cooked well and have held on to plenty of moisture without leaving anything watery behind on the plate, which is always a reassuring sign. They've kept a good heat too, and the flavour is properly full and earthy, the kind that feels naturally satisfying without needing any extra seasoning to help them along. Score 9 out of 10. Moving across the plate, our attention lands on the eggs. There's 3 fried eggs on the plate, all cooked sunny side up with those thick, shiny whites that hold their shape nicely. There's no crispy on the edges or underneath, a softer style all the way through. Cutting in, the yolks are soft and runny, just edging slightly firmer than my ideal, but still giving you plenty of dipping opportunities for both the toast and the fried bread. They look the part, they eat well, and even though they're a touch past my personal sweet spot, they still do exactly what you want fried eggs to do. Score 7 out of 10. Time to see what we're working with on the toast front. It's a single slice of medium thick white toast, done to a medium well level and given a generous coating of thick butter. As the butter hasn't fully melted in, the toast keeps a firm, crispy texture that holds up nicely when you start dipping into the eggs. It's sturdy, it's reliable, and it brings that simple comfort you want from a good slice of toast. Nothing fancy, just proper, dependable breakfast work. Score 8 out of 10. And speaking of things perfect for dipping, it's the fried bread. It's a single medium thickness slice of fried bread, and it looks every bit as inviting as you'd hope. It's got that deep, even gold colour with a slight shimmer across the surface from the oil. The kind of finish that promises crunch. Biting in, there's a perfect crispiness, especially around the edges, while the centre keeps that classic fried bread chew. It's pure breakfast pleasure, and when you pair it with those egg yolks again, it becomes one of the standout moments of the plate. Score 10 out of 10. Alright, time to release the beans. And there's no false advertising here. The menu promised double beans, but what arrives is closer to triple. They've come in a larger than usual ramekin, and there's far too much to release onto the plate in one go. Tip the lot out, and they'd easily flood the entire bottom of the dish. They've kept a good heat, and there's plenty of that thick, rich tomato sauce that's just waiting to be mopped up later with the fried bread and potato items. The beans themselves have a soft, pleasing texture, and the portion is generous enough that you're never short of a scoop. Overall, they're very enjoyable. Score 10 out of 10. With the beans accounted for, let's check in on the hash browns. You get 2 standard hash browns here, both pretty typical in size and thickness. The outer is a little on the soggy side and not as crisp as you'd normally hope for, most likely because they've been sat under the tomatoes from the moment the plate was built. Inside though, the shredded potato is very moist and surprisingly soft. Taste-wise, they're far better than they look, with a warmth and comfort that creeps up on you. A surprising hit in the end. Score 8 out of 10. Alright, time to see what the new potatoes are bringing to the party. You get a good portion of chopped new potatoes, and at first glance they look promising. Nicely cooked with a bit of colour and a gentle fry to finish them off. Cutting in, the interior is hot and fluffy, exactly what you'd hope for. But taste-wise, this is where things fall apart. There's just nothing there. They're dry, under-seasoned, and offer very little beyond bulk. You keep waiting for a bit of flavour to show up, but it never really does. They end up feeling like a cheap plate filler rather than a considered part of the breakfast. And with a bit more thought, they could have easily stood out. Score 2 out of 10. Alright, time to see how the black pudding stacks up. You get 2 medium thickness slices of black pudding, both with a great colour on the outside and plenty of those little pockets of pork fat visible throughout. They cut softly, revealing a sticky, moist interior with that deep burgundy tone you always want to see. The flavour is excellent, warm, rounded and properly satisfying, and it brings a real sense of depth to the plate. There's a richness here that ties the whole breakfast together, giving it that classic savoury hit with every bite. It's one of those items that quietly elevates everything around it. Score 9 out of 10. From there, we slide over to the bacon. You get 3 rashers of bacon, thinly sliced and cooked well, with that appealing pink tone running through the meat. The larger fatty edges have taken a lovely deep golden colour, and that's where most of the flavour sits. It's rich, savoury and edging towards crisp. The texture is light and easy to cut through, making it a simple, enjoyable eat. There's a nice balance between the lean and fatty parts, giving you a bit of variety with each bite. It's not the star of the plate, but it's a decent showing from the bacon and does its job without fuss. Score 7 out of 10. And now we arrive at the literal heavyweight of the plate. It's the sausages. And these are the real star of the show, and something we were pre-warned about before even arriving. We've got 3 large, extremely thick pork sausages, and they make an immediate impression. There's good colouring on one side, and while some might say they prefer a little more cook around the full casing, that would honestly distract from just how remarkably perfect these links already are. The seasoning is visible throughout, giving you that reassuring speckled look that hints at quality. Cutting in, you find thick, well-packed pork mince that's incredibly juicy when pressed. Cooked absolutely perfectly, you simply couldn't do them any better than this. Each bite delivers warmth, richness, and a depth of flavour that puts them in a different league. To sum these up in 2 words then, perfectly sublime, and genuinely some of the best we've ever had. As I've said in the past, on only a couple of occasions, if I could crank the score up to 11 here, I absolutely would. Score 10 out of 10. Now then, let's talk value for money. This is a meal I thoroughly enjoyed, and by the end of it, I was extremely full from the sheer size of the breakfast. I was genuinely struggling to finish the whole plate, which is always a strong indicator that you're getting plenty for your money. The quality of the produce is excellent throughout, with several items easily punching above their price bracket. To get a sense of whether this is good value, let's compare it to the Beast, which sits one step down at £11.50. Looking at what you get on that breakfast, I'd already rate this as really good value too. Then you factor in everything you gain by stepping up to the Giant: 1 extra sausage, 1 extra fried egg, an additional slice of black pudding, extra mushrooms, extra beans, and a slice of toast or fried bread. Paying an extra £5 for that much more food doesn't feel like a stretch at all. It actually feels like the smarter choice. Taking all the above into consideration, this stands out as genuinely strong value for money, especially given the portion size and the quality on the plate. Score 9 out of 10. Time to tally up all those points now, and after chucking those scores into our number cruncher, Willow Farm Café comes out with a total of 105 points out of a maximum of 130. And converting that into percentage then, today's final Breakfast Club score is 80.8%, putting them right on the border between our good and great rating brackets. Looking at Leaderboard now, and although that's a standout score today, it just falls short of making it into the top 10. Still, a great effort. And that brings us to the end of today's review at Willow Farm Café. A seriously hefty plate, some standout highs, a couple of lows, and a final score that comfortably places them in the good to great bracket. The portion size alone is enough to keep most people going for the day, and those sausages, well, they're worth the trip on their own. Even though it just misses out on a top 10 spot, this is still a cracking effort, and a breakfast I'd happily recommend to anyone passing through. If you're after value, volume, and a couple of genuinely exceptional items, this one absolutely delivers. So if you've enjoyed this video and you like what we're doing, the best way to support us is to like, share and subscribe. It's free to do and really helps the channel grow. And as always, may your bacon be sizzling, your fried bread golden and your yolks runny. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out one of our other reviews showing on screen right now. So that was my large breakfast this morning at Willow Farm Café. What do you think of that one? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.